Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a Grand Solar Minimum update. April 5th, Friday, April 5th, 1 a.m. Mountain Time, 2019. You're looking at the GFS model, and you're looking at the snow piling up. It's piling up into April like a schmapril. Regardless of what Puxatony Phil had to say, he is an absolute liar. I hope you put odds on that. Look at Maine. It's insane. The models have shifted, and they're burying New Hampshire still in the northern tier as we predicted, as well as the entire state of Maine. And this is a multiple event scenario. First event coming in the next 48 hours. The next event starting on April 7th, extending into the 10th. And then another event right behind it to add insult to injury. Now look at how the heavy snow piles up in Colorado, Wyoming, the Sierras. Oh my goodness. And it's going to be burying the farming belts that need to get those grains in the coming weeks. Look at that. Is there even going to be winter wheat, or is it being decimated? Who knows? You've entered the effing awesome classroom. I know, because I have the bullhorn.
Keep calm. It's boom time.
Man, snow and cold smash Tri-City records. April records could also fall. Let's turn off that heater. And let's look at these records. Kennewick, Washington. Expect a warmer than usual weather according to the authorities, who said we're going to have a warmer than weather winter. And it should be a welcome change for the Tri-City residents in Washington State. March broke the record for cold weather that has stood for 100 years, plus a record for snow that has stood for more than 5 decades. High temperatures in a typical April in the Tri-Cities reached 63. Hey, but they didn't get that high in March, but I did. I can assure you. California Water Supply Dream record snowpack measured in Sierra Nevada. That's a record. We reported on it last night. Yeah, 160%. Lake Tahoe region. As they shove poles deep into the snow because they don't know where to shove it. California received some good snow on Tuesday for the state's water supply. Good news, not snow, but they also received good snow. The Sierra Nevada snowpack is well above normal at 162% of average, which is not a schmaverage. The amount of snow is thanks to more than 30 atmospheric rivers caused by none other than your friend, stratospheric radiation. And it's not caused by chemtrails. It's caused by the sun in the form of cosmic rays, or lack of sun. And these cosmic rays enter from cosmogenic sources outside of our solar system. Regardless of where they come from, GCRs, SCRs, they're all CRs. And they all nucleate clouds. And they all make it flood. Biblically, southern U.S. flood risk to ensue as several inches of rain pour down. And they poured downtown in Louisiana. 6.76 inches in South Lake Charles. 6.42 in Lake Charles. 6.04 in Patterson. And heads up, Iowa, you were just under 6, which is a twist.
I'm in southern Louisiana since midnight, early Thursday morning or late Wednesday night. We've had over 6 inches of rain in places like Lake Charles, Patterson, Louisiana, and almost 6 inches into Iowa, Louisiana. Been a very, very hard hit for some, and we're going to be dealing with more severe storms in parts of the south central U.S. off and on this weekend. Friday will be a warmer day, but there's a new disturbance that rolls in from the west. That will spark some strong to severe thunderstorms in west central Texas up to the stem of the Texas Panhandle into Friday evening and Friday night with hail, damaging wind, and isolated tornadoes, all concerns in that area. And then into Saturday and Saturday night, the storms will blossom and move to the east with the potential for some more flooding into many of these areas across central and east Texas, into Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana once again as well. Some of these storms will become severe, and there is a flash flood threat as well. So the wind and hail, and possibly a few isolated Saturday tornadoes, will be most likely near and east of I-35. There also is the chance for a couple of strong to severe storms into the high plains of western Kansas and west central parts of Nebraska as well. So it's going to be a pretty active time. Looking farther southeast regarding western Florida, the Panhandle here, and far southern Alabama and Georgia, there's a marginal threat for a severe storm or two into Friday afternoon and evening. There will be numerous showers.
Severe threat in the southern tier from storms for flooding. Heads up, a 1-2 punch from storms will elevate the risk of flooding in the short term, while additional storm systems may keep the risk going in the long term over parts of the south central and southeastern U.S. into next week. A storm has already unleashed enough rain in several hours to trigger flash flooding in several parishes in South Louisiana during Thursday. Some locations, including Lake Charles, Louisiana, received 6 inches. We just reported on it. So why do you have 5 here? Even as this storm pushes eastward and winds down on Friday, a new storm will take shape over the plains and begin to drift eastward this weekend into early next week. A multiplicity of storms will add insult to injury in Maine. Neighborhood flooding across Lake Charles. Say it ain't a schmarls. Let's move this so you can read it. 5 minutes, 55 seconds in. 6 inches of rain in Lake Charles, flooding the region. Southwest Louisiana, flash flooding hit Southwest Louisiana Wednesday morning, and residents are still recovering. In South Lake Charles, Calvary Baptist Church parking lot was filled. Reporters with 7 News said they reached out to officials with the church, but haven't heard if anyone was actually praying. And that's tonight's first boom. What the am I reporting on? Closed off by flooding, Henderson copes by throwing a party. Red River continues to rise, and people get loaded. Now, I lived on a river for years, and I know about the river rat lifestyle. When floods are coming and you're about to go underwater, you party hardy. You go deep. It's a deep dive. And it's not to survive. It's just so you can forget about everything that you're about to lose. Oh my, it's been 3 weeks since flood season began in earnest in Minnesota, and the swollen rivers in the southern parts of the state are beginning to recede. But it's not over, kids. Roads that have been closed for days, in some places even weeks, are now reopening. Fields are slowly turning into mud. But it's not over yet. Residents along the Red River of North, which creates most of Minnesota's border with North Dakota, are beginning to see what their counterparts across southern Minnesota saw for most of March. Rising river gauges and early road closures. And this flooding bulge will move north as the snow melts. Heads up. Forecasters suggest that flooding along the Red, which wriggles northward from Wapleton, North Dakota, to Winnipeg, Manitoba, is likely to register far below record levels, and even early projections. They wait and they watch, knowing that the Minnesota spring can be as unpredictable as a schmictable. Heads up, I made that word up. Live, on air. That's me! Holy I did my hair just for you guys. Watch. Watch how I do it. Okay. Maybe. Yeah, let's do that. Does my haircut actually add to my credibility, or is it schmability? We're recording Midwestern towns prepare to navigate more flooding and climate-denying president. Well, there's no denying climate. Yeah, it's been happening forever. Forever, never. Look at these houses. I can't even imagine. As mayors from towns along the Mississippi River huddled over the phones on March 22nd, they cautiously awaited answers from members of the National Weather Service and emergency agencies across the federal government. How bad is the flooding going to be? How bad? I watched Diamond's channel and I'm sharting my pants. And what can we do to stop it? I mean, all the sandbags have been purchased with like a schmerchus and I don't even know what to do. But seriously, flooding devastated the central parts of the country in mid-March, evacuating towns and killing 3 in Nebraska, which already faces $1.3 billion in damages from the swelling Missouri. Holy schmory. Drinking water problems linger long after flooding. Omaha, Nebraska, several communities along the Missouri River continue to struggle to restore drinking water services weeks after massive flooding swept through the area. Can you believe that? People who lived in the affected Nebraska and Iowa towns have had to adjust to boiling water before drinking it. Yeah, because if you don't, you'll shit yourself to death and die. Yeah, so I would boil that water. Wouldn't you? Loans available to producers impacted by wicked winter weather. Wicked. That's a schmicket. I'm going to put on my gorgeous, awesome signature cap and flop it down so you can take a look at the amazing work that they did. Take a look at that. It's pretty awesome. Do you know about Gorgeous Awesome? Check them out. They're on Etsy. I'll leave a link below if I remember. Loans, they'll be at LeeCon if you go. Loans available to producers impacted by wicked winter weather. Now, this is not going to do us any good, folks. Why? Let's think about it. These guys are already hit. They're already schmacked. They already had to put all their crop, dried up, their corn, their soybeans. They wrapped it up in thousands of dollars worth of tarps on the side of the river there, and then it got flooded, so it's destroyed. So they can either feed it to their cattle or take it right by the straddle and get a schmaddle and be like, eh! Loans available to producers now impacted by wicked winter weather so that they can totally loan their ass out to the government and be foreclosed upon, and Monsanto can take over the farm and they can suck it. Guys, if you own farmland and you're doing commercial farming, I implore you, get out, sell your land. You'll be a millionaire. You can help the community. You can build a sustainable community for yourself and get off grid and stop buying into the system. So if there's any farmers out there listening that have huge inheritances from their father that have 10,000 acres and they don't realize that at 1,000 an acre, that's $10 million. Holla, because I can guide you in the right direction to spend just a small fraction of your money, put the rest in savings, money market accounts, other ventures that will not be eliminated during the collapse, and I will teach you how to make a permaculture paradise on that kind of coin. We can even pay people to come do it. Now, these totals are looking insane. And the problem with these models is that the most snow comes through mid-April. We're talking heavy snow through Wyoming, Colorado. Check out Maine. It's insane. And New Hampshire is going to be really doing it strong. Do it strong, New Hampshire. Strong Hampshire. Winter's coming back. Cold front sweeps across Spain. People are hugging their radiators like schmadiators. A cold front is spreading across Spain, bringing storms and zero temperatures. Now, Spain is mostly climatically neutral. It's like living in South Carolina, but not in recent years. After balmy spring arrived early in Spain, you may have been tempted to pack away the big jumpers and winter coats. But northerly winds are sweeping down the peninsula. Holy that is chilly-nilly. And this is the growing zone through Benidorm and the Costa Blanca, south through the Straits of Gibraltar. This is where they grow food. Northerly winds are sweeping down the peninsula, sending temperatures plummeting, and the cold snap is expected to last through Sunday. Extended cold snaps with winter crops out in the spring, or spring crops, stunt the plants, and they wreak havoc on your results. So we're going to be reporting on crop loss and damage. The drop in temperatures caused by a mass of very cold air at high altitudes will be accompanied by strong northerly winds, which will increase the sensation of cold. I can feel it. I can feel the sensation of the cold. The unstable mass of air brings stormy weather, which will be locally heavy and persistent in the far north of the country. The snow line will drop markedly, which is not a sharkedly, with significant snowfall from Cantabria to the Pyrenees. That means you're fluxed. Holy it's insane, Spain! Boom! Oh, man. I hope you like this. We're really stretching the bandwidth tonight. Let me do it over here. Do we have a video or is it a schmidio? Yeah, it's a schmidio. The Canary Islands, which are expected to cause a global catastrophe when they erupt, is part of that unstable weather and will continue with some heavy rain in the Western Islands. Hopefully no low pressure systems will trigger massive earthquakes or anything in that region. I hope not. Holy shit. Russia revamps Arctic military base to stake claim on region. Sverne Klevna military base, Russia missiles, launchers, ply icy roads and air defense systems point menacingly into the sky at its Arctic military outpost Are you getting that? The bay stub Spernicleva, northern clover, for its trefoil shape is, I don't even know why I'm reading this shit. Russia is winning and we're losing. Because our government has been boozing. They don't even know about real weather. The powers that be are bitching at our president as a climate denier when no one is really talking about climate change in factual terms. Now look, if you're new to the channel, climatology is a science. Climate science is not a science. It was invented by the IPCC 2 decades ago to tax your ass on plant food. They created whole textbooks with their billions of dollars to indoctrinate decades of our youth to believe that a tiny trace amount of 0.05% of our atmospheric gas, of which 90% is created by the oceans, has something to do with climate. You've been duped. Seismic update, no quakes of note. We're waiting for the big boom. And I'm sure there are fearmongers talking about this quake up here in Soda Springs and blah, blah, blah. Yellowstone's a boom. But we're about to stick our foot up Yellowstone fearmongers' asses. That's you, crickets chirping, Mrs. G. Worldwide volcano news update. Fuego. Observed volcanic ash to 16,000. Ibu, Reventador, and Sabancaya also blowing to normal levels. Nothing significant, nothing you should worry about. What you should worry about is the misinformation from the Express and other rags. Yellowstone volcano. How is USGS admitted we were tracking it after caldera rose by 2 feet? Now, that's your headline, which is a total shart line, because the caldera rose by 2 feet, over 50 years ago. Are you kidding me? Now, these people are claiming, what they're claiming is that, well, first, they have this headline. The USGS admitted that they're tracking it. This is all to scare the shit out of you. This caldera rose for decades, 2 feet, years ago. And if you come read the article, you're going to be really disappointed. Leading scientists in charge of monitoring Yellowstone revealed how the caldera has risen 2.3 feet over time. Did you hear that? Are you serious? Speaking at a public lecture in Menlo Park, California in 2014. First of all, this is 5 years ago. They're reporting on something that Mr. Lowenstein revealed 5 years ago about Yellowstone. And people are pissing their pants and running in the streets, screaming at the top of their necks that the Yellowstone is going to blow up. Because 5 years ago, a geologist said that Yellowstone rose 2 feet over the last 100 years. Are you picking up how pathetic the mainstream media is? I hope you are. This is the most pathetic example of yellow journalism that you can ever imagine. It's garbage. It's actually people getting paid to write fantasy fiction shit that billions of people believe. This is your world that you choose to not fight against, that you sit there on your fat ass and do nothing about. And every night I work my ass off to tell you the facts, and you're like, ha 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 ha, I'm going to make a coffee and have a cinnamon bun and smoke my pot. And I'm going to continue to do absolutely nothing because I'm a lazy prick that was raised by this culture. Good job, you lazy prick. Continue to watch my channel, badmouth me, give me bad comments below, and this is what you can do. I don't even know how to do that right. Explosive volcanic eruptions triggered by cosmic rays. Volcano has a bubble chamber. Now, if you're new to the channel and you don't know about the science of how cosmic rays cause volcanic eruptions, read the paper. I will not repeat myself because you're too lazy to watch the entire 1,030 videos that I've produced. Now that you know how I really feel, exclusive. Google cancels AI ethics board in response to outcry. You know what the outcry is? The outcry was that they were discussing what AI is actually doing. They're going to take over the world, take over your minds, And they're going to dupe these sheep into doing some of the craziest you can ever imagine. People do not know how their rights are being destroyed every second, right before their very lives. But I do, which is why I have this channel. I'm not staring into this white dot because I want to be famous, because I want to make money, or because I want you to call me late at night and email me incessantly. Do you realize what type of position I've put myself into to even have this channel, to even have the point of view that I'm allowed to spew? I don't think you realize the responsibility. Alusha is calling. We're going to have to get back to him real quick because I have to do an interview. So let's run through this. Google cancels the AI ethics board. It's insane. I'm actually going to cut this short because I do not want to short Alusha. End of the world. This distant dead planet could be a preview of Earth's final fate. Read the article if you're interested. Check out these more fireballs streaking across the sky. Turns hundreds of southeastern U.S. this morning. Now, this fireball is just a group of fireballs that have been adding cosmic debris to the conversation. We've been reporting on these fireballs and expect them to increase as time progresses. That's a big bolide. Google the word if you don't know what I'm talking about. Don't be ignorant. Don't email me simple questions that you can Google, please. Put the question into Google and it will answer it. Here's the real reason why terracotta army weapons are so well preserved. Because there was chromium in the soil. These things are from 5,000 years ago. Well, maybe 2,500. But I digress. The chromium is in cosmic catastrophe. Cosmic debris. Chromium. The first class of hexahedrites, which have a hexagonal six-sided crystal shape. Hexahedrites contain very high percentage of the nickel-iron alloy chemicite. To much lesser extent, in some cases, there are elements such as carbon and chromium in cosmic debris. Chromium comes from cosmic catastrophe. Cosmic treasure trove of heavy metals found, including chromium, which these ancients knew preserved brass. They're smarter than us. First ever photo of a black hole, which was supposed to be released yesterday, could be coming within a few days. Yeah, that's the problem, is because they haven't been able to computer generate something that you'll buy. But it's coming in a few days. We warned you about this nonsense. Black holes are a mathematical construct. You cannot take a picture of one. And now NASA, the biggest fraud on Earth, that was developed to gain information about cosmic catastrophe on Earth and to lie to you about a space program, is now going to show you a picture of a black hole. Oh my God. I got to get back to Alusha, so we're going to quicken this up. Along the coast of Peru, scientists discover ancient whale with 4 legs. This is a whale that supposedly was a whale that came out on land with legs and then went back in the water and became a whale again. Is that antithetical to evolution, or is it exactly thetical to our postulation, where cosmic changes occur and gravity increases or decreases, things get obliterated and instantaneously change? So whales came out on land, went back into the water, and now we're here. You've been lied to, and we're just getting on the tippy touch of the cusp. Now we're going to talk about the stoned ape theory, which might explain our extraordinary evolution. And it explains how Cro-Magnon might have actually ate the mushrooms. I'm getting to you. Guys, I have to get to Alusha. Watch the video tomorrow. Read the Stone Age Ape. We're going to run through this. I do not want to keep him waiting. It's 8 a.m. The sunlight is right. We're going to be showing you some amazing stuff about amazing communities with pizza. But most importantly, I want you to chill out, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm doing it through meditation and healing practices. I have therapy sessions. I'm using heart math. And I think love is the way to the future. I know it. I learned that information 10 years ago. But I needed to get out what I had to get out in the first year of this channel. And from now on, I'm going to try to chill out. For your benefit and the benefit of a whole group of people that need to know about this. One love. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Pizza is always good, but not a good prepper tool. Learn how to grow food. Learn how to wildcraft. Learn what the preppers know, how to use Mylar bags, seal them with oxygen absorbers. Buy rice and beans. It costs a couple bucks a week to prep. You can get started now. Don't bitch about it, be about it. We love you. Be safe. Awesome interview with Alosha Linov coming up in moments. I gotta call him. One love. Peace out.